Hello dear friends, in today's video I will show my game against Isanzhulov Arystan from Kazakhstan, rated 24-01, fourth round of Dubai Police Open Tournament. So let's go. So I was black, e4, c5, knight f3, d6, bishop b5, knight d7. Yes, here I was expecting mainly a4, knight f6, knight c3, and a6, bishop e2, b6, or yes, g6 is another option to play. But my opponent surprised me with short castle. He had also some games with d4, c takes d, let's say queen d4, a6, bishop e2, knight f6, short castle, e5, queen e3. Yes, knight c5 is the strongest move here to play. Yes, he played short castle, a6, and here bishop takes d7, bishop d7, and here he surprised me with c3. Very interesting move, and actually I'm recommending this move. Yes, I think earlier, maybe a couple of years back, during European Individual Championship, round 1, I don't exactly remember my opponent's name, but he played d4, c takes d, and queen takes d4. If I'm not mistaken, knight f6 is the strongest move to play. Yes, c3, and some months ago I was checking the c3 move. Yes, knight f6 is the strongest, rook e1, bishop c6, d4, bishop takes e4, bishop g5, and here you go d5 if I'm not mistaken, and knight bd2. You take bishop f3, queen takes f3, you go e6 if I'm not mistaken, bishop f6, and here queen f6, queen d5 is there, g takes f, c4. Over the board I was trying to make this all work and just memorize all what I have analyzed some months ago, but couldn't really remember them. And over the board I found this idea of going e6. I think another option is knight f6, rook e1, e6, d4, c takes d, c takes d, d5, e5, knight e4, but this can be maybe very slightly better for white. So I played e6, d4, c takes d, c takes d, and I play knight d7. I'm sure that the engine will not like this idea, but my point was just to bring my knight to g6 and then bishop e7, short castle. Yes, whenever you go d5 then e5, and e5, if you go e5 with the white, then I will see should I go will I go d5 or I will keep the tension. Yes, for example, if bishop g5, just stopping knight g6, always I can go h6. Yes, my opponent played knight c3, knight g6. Yes, if bishop g5, I can go bishop e7, but I think I can also move my queen to b8 and then h6. Yes, here I was thinking about some weird move, moving the knight and then f4, f5, but I don't think that ideas are very dangerous for black. So my opponent went a4, probably he didn't like queen b3, b5. So I played bishop e7, queen b3, attacking the pawn. Here I could play rook, queen b8, but I went rook b8, bishop e3, short castle, and d5. So the first critical moment of the game, here I was deciding between e5, bishop f6, and b5. I didn't like bishop f6 because of bishop b6 move, and if you go any other square, then bishop c7 is very unpleasant. Of course, you don't really want to place your queen on c8. So queen e7, some bishop c7 comes, surprisingly, and next move queen b6. If bishop a4 anyway, queen b6. Yes, I did not play b5 because at least like a takes b, d takes c, bishop e6, knight d5, and yes, better position for white. Yes, I played e5. Yes, my opponent went bishop a7, I played rook a8. I could also go rook c8, but just queen b7, and here queen takes a6 and knight b5 comes, and bishop b5, a takes b. so I'm not trapping or winning any piece. So that's why I decided to have my rook on a8, and my opponent here now went bishop e3 back. If queen b7, my idea was to go f5, and I'm pawn down, but I have all my pieces on king side, and knight is jumping to f4. Yes, always some exchange sacrifices are possible on f3. Yes, my opponent played bishop e3. I went f5 anyway. So he took on f5. Here I could take with the rook, and you know the point is to maybe sacrifice on f3, and if you go rook knight d2, maybe later on I can try to exploit my rook on h5. But I play bishop f5. My opponent here, of course, we don't really consider taking on b7. Yes, even rook b8, queen a6, rook b2 move is possible. Some other moves also are there for black. My opponent played knight d2, and here I don't like my decision of going knight h4. So I played knight h4 with the ideas something like knight e4, bishop h3, might work, g takes h, queen d7. But of course, my opponent was really playing well, and no chance he would miss such a tactical idea. Yes, knight h4, I did not like. My idea was if you push g3, I'm going back with the knight, but all light squares are quite weakened. Yes, but it turned out that white simply goes g3, and after knight g6, f3, and white does not care much. Yes, he played g3, knight g6, f3. I played queen d7, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I guess I played queen d7. Yes, knight e4, rook f7. Yes, probably from a slightly better position I got, again, I'm unpleasant. So rook c1, rook f8. I was trying to double my rooks on f file. Queen c4, not the strongest, probably h6, b3. I don't need at all my king on h8, but I played king h8. So the idea of b3 is to play queen c7, but right now queen c7 ideas are not really working, because always I can go bishop g5, and queen d7, bishop e3 comes with the check. But my king is much better placed on g8. So I played this, rook f2. Already my opponent threatened some queen c7. I was thinking about bishop d8, but now queen b4 comes. Yes, and here knight e4, let's say rook f3, queen d6 even works for my opponent. Let's say takes, and knight f7 check, and white takes on d8. So I didn't know what to do, and here I really took a lot of time and played b5. Yes, here my opponent could go queen b4, and I don't think white has any problems. So I played queen c6, I played rook c8, takes. And yes, more or less, I think it's around equal endgame. Maybe even white is better. So I played knight c3, I played bishop d7. I could play bishop b7 also. Yes, rook f1, trying to bring the rook. I went rook f8, rook a1, rook c8. Yes, knight e4. I played bishop e8 with the ideas to go bishop f7, rook a7. He could go rook a6. Yeah, my idea was to go something like rook d8, and here let's say bishop b6, rook c8. So whenever white want, they can force a draw in a different ways. So my opponent was trying for something more. Rook a7, I played king g8, and now we clearly see that my king wasn't really well placed on h8. Yes, rook b7. So the point of rook b7 to stop all kind of bishop f7 ideas, because now b5 pawn will be under attack. So I played bishop f8 to always have some knight e7, and knight b1 he went. Yes, he could also take bishop h6, but I was planning to go some bishop f7. Yes, let's say here takes, and white is pawn up, but I don't think black is in big trouble. Yes, knight b1, very interesting move. Knight is coming to c3. Yes, I played rook c2, knight a3. I was thinking about knight c3, and here my idea was to play, I guess it was something Bishop f7 I wanted to go, or maybe even knight e7. Yes, but he found this knight a3, rook b2, knight takes b5. Yes, if I go rook e2, then simply bishop f2. Yes, takes. I played bishop f7. Yes, if I take rook b3, then knight d6 comes. Yes, here I played this. I played knight d7. Yes, knight takes d6, knight takes d5. Yes, and here of course game should end in a draw. So knight e4, bishop a3 to stop bishop c5, knight c5, bishop d5, attacking the pawn, king f2, king f7, knight e4, king e6. Yes, and in a different ways game should end in a draw. My opponent played knight c5, and here knight e4. I think this is the critical decisive mistake. Bishop takes, bishop c5, and surprisingly this pawn endgame is lost for white. Yes, h4, just h5, king e2, bishop takes, king c5, king d3, king b4, king e3, king c3, king f3, king d3, g4, g6. So let's start checking the game with the machine, with the engine. Let's see how badly did I play. Can I have it over here or not? Yes, e6, knight f6, rook e1, e6. Yes, I guess. You know, surprisingly, the strongest is to play e6, d4, bishop e7. You can go bishop c4, d4 takes. No, bishop c6 actually is not the strongest. e6, d4, bishop e7. So I played e6. Yes, of course, d4. And bishop e7 or knight f6. So I took. Yes, and I played knight e7. Knight e7, knight c3, knight g6. You know, I was thinking during the game that I played something very dubious, but yes, queen b3, b5, d5, e5. Yes, a4 was played by my opponent. Bishop e7, queen b3. Yes, even short castle. What is happening if I just take just queen b8 or queen c8, forcing this trade of queens? Yes, I played rook b8. Yes, bishop e3, short castle, d5. The whole point behind bishop e3 move is to play d5, and e5 I played. Yes, I was thinking about b5 also. Yes, bishop f6 also. But what about bishop f6, bishop b6 if he queen e7, if bishop c7? What I'm blundering? Oh, bishop c6, wow. Yes, I played e5. Bishop a7, I played rook a8. Yes, if queen takes, then f5, bishop b6, queen e8. So bishop e3 back. I pushed f5. Yes, e takes f. Bishop takes f5. Knight d2. I was very optimistic already here about my position, but I was wrong. So bishop g5. Yes, bad move, knight h4, g3, knight g6 back. Yes, like many moves are there for white. f3 was played, queen d7. Yes, knight e4. Bishop d8 maybe. Yes, always this d5 pawn is very weak and soft. Yes, bishop d8, queen b4, attacking the pawn. I played rook f7, rook c1. Yes, I don't think the whole idea with doubling the rooks on f-file was correct. Yes, of course, bishop b6 he could go, queen c4, played h6, b3. Yes, here I was thinking about bishop d8. Not exactly here. I went king h8. Yes, I don't need this move at all. Rook f2. Yes, I was thinking bishop d8, queen b4, bishop b4, knight e4, rook f3 takes that, queen d6, and I played b5 eventually. Queen c6, my opponent found. I played rook c8. Takes. Yes, he found knight c3. A very unpleasant endgame. h4, he played rook f1. Played rook a1. Yes, knight d e4. I was thinking about b4 to push. I played bishop e8. Rook a7. Yes, bishop f7 takes knight e7. So I played rook a7. I played king g8. Rook b7. I went bishop f8. Yes, engine does not show this bishop h6, bishop f7, and yes. So knight b1, rook c2, knight c3, knight e7, g4, rook b2, bishop f7. Yes, knight c7, knight e7 was my idea. Knight c3, knight e7. He took. Yes, and of course game should end in a draw. Yes, and here my opponent, yes, takes bishop c5, and this is just lost. Yes, dear friends, I managed to win against Arystan Isanzhulov, rated 24-01, with the black pieces. Yes, it was complicated game. I don't like my decision of going knight h4, g3, knight g6. I thought during the game that I am weakening. If opponent plays g3, then he weakens a lot all king side, but it turned out that just g3, f3, and white is very solid there. Yes, throughout the game I don't think, only maybe my decision of going b5 was bad, because after queen c6, rook c8 takes, and that endgame was very unpleasant for me. Later on I managed to find some good moves to somehow be close to make a draw, and eventually we traded all the pieces and it was very drawish, but this 94 blunder appeared. Yes, my opponent was really pushing very hard. He could that end game I evaluated not precisely. I thought I'm fine, but always d5 pawn is very soft, but my opponent really tried to push for something more than a draw, And yes, I was in trouble during this endgame. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please in the comment section, if you have any suggestions or anything, please let me know. Thank you.